So in today's video, I want to ask you an extremely painful question. Why would a creator ever want to work with you? And so that's exactly why in today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly why most growth operators fail before they even start. Because look, at this point, everyone knows what growth operating is. It's not some new concept like it was back in 2023. It was completely unsaturated, right? I mean, even Iman Gadzhi a few months ago just ran a massive webinar that basically started spawning a ton of new shadow operators, and competition in the growth operating space is higher than it's ever been. Everyone's trying to become a growth operator. Thousands of people are DMing these creators, and everyone looks identical, which is exactly what I call the growth operating hamster wheel. And it's imperative that you get out of this cycle as quickly as possible and start getting results before everyone else, before you get stuck, and quit before you ever end up making any money. And that's exactly what I'm gonna cover in today's video. So first, before we discuss how to get out of the growth operating hamster wheel, I want to first dive into exactly what everyone is doing and what that hamster wheel actually looks like so that you make sure that you don't do the same thing. And this might sound familiar, right? First, everyone has the exact same copy paste Instagram where they say that they're just a growth operator in their bio, or they say that they're scaling info products in their bio. They have zero posts, zero social proof. They have some shitty profile picture and the exact same positioning, right? They're all just positioning themselves as someone that handles everything in these creators' businesses. And to be completely honest, creators see this hundreds of times per day. And if you're doing this, you are never gonna stand out, right? From there, they're just targeting the wrong creators as a whole, right? They just think that follower count is everything that matters, and they're actually not able to spot and identify what are the actual right opportunities that will make you money in this space. And I can tell you right now that it's not fitness creators, it's not just any random make money online niche, it's not these other random niches. Any of these offers can make money, but you don't want to be stuck operating an offer that only does 10, 15, 20K per month, right? You need to be on an offer that's doing at least 40, 50, 60K per month if you want to be making real money as an operator. And you need to be able to identify these opportunities, right? Creators who have serious monetization potential. And sometimes what it takes is actually identifying them early before they blow up. From there, you have got to stop spamming outreach, right? You need to be extremely intentional with your outreach. Otherwise, you are just going to look like every other growth operator who does not put any effort into anything. And to stand out from these other growth operators, it does not take a lot of effort, right? Everyone is just mindlessly spamming outreach. They have no value to provide. They're just copy pasting messages. And so putting in just a little bit more effort will literally make you stand out from 99% of people. And from there, if you are miraculously able to actually land a sales call, you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea how to position yourself. You have no idea how to actually show and provide value for yourself. And furthermore, you have no confidence or conviction in what you're actually trying to sell them on. So obviously everything I describe is something that you may or may not have felt, right? And it's exactly why 99% of growth operators who have tried doing outreach have never landed an actual creator. And that's actually the good news. Since so many of these growth operators are bots, standing out is actually so incredibly easy. Because when everyone looks exactly the same, the one that actually stands out and clearly put a little bit more thought and effort into things, they instantly become the obvious choice. Because the last thing these creators want is more people in their DMs, right? They want someone who actually understands their audience, who actually cares, and has the system that can actually help them grow. So I want to introduce you to my competitive edge framework, which I like to call the 3 C's. The first one being creativity. Most operators copy, winning operators think. So examples of this, the winning operators are sending personalized outreach. They're actually using unique angles. They're taking the time to actually properly funnel hack and actually identify the gaps in these creators' funnels. I always get people ask me the exact same question of not being able to identify identify the gaps in people's funnels, right? And if you actually just took the time to think and actually go through their systems and realize like, oh, I didn't get an email, I didn't get a text, the booking link was broken, or the thank you page was missing a video or testimonials or proof, all of these different things, right? You just need to actually be thorough in your work and actually care about your work. And at the end of the day, it really just comes down to being a student of the game, right? You got to actually love this game, love this space, and be fascinated by it. And so if you can just do this, the creativity aspect will just come naturally to you, and you'll be able to portray the knowledge that you're acquiring a lot better and more easily to these creators, which will obviously just make you stand out as an authority. And so the next one is confidence, right? And this goes exactly in line with what I'm saying of being a student of the game, right? You need to build your confidence. If you don't have confidence, you're never gonna win in this game, because creators can tell when you're confident and you actually know what you're talking about, right? And you can be confident without actually ever having a client. You just need to actually take the time to know what you're talking about and have conviction that you can actually help these creators, right? And maybe that doesn't even mean that you know exactly the right systems, exactly what needs to get done, and exactly how you're gonna build it, but you have conviction in yourself that once you do close them and sign them, that you're gonna be able to figure out along the way, which is exactly what I did when I first got my first client anyway. So, but you need to have conviction in yourself that you're actually able to help these creators. Whether that's actually believing in the opportunity at hand, what you can build for them, actually understanding their business, their audience, and different systems that you can implement to actually help them grow and scale. And if you can have this conviction in yourself and have also conviction in the creator that you're gonna work with, then I promise you, you're gonna make money with them. The last C in my competitive edge framework is capability, because at the end of the day, the best edge is actual knowledge, right? And as you can tell, that is the theme of these 3 C's, where you just need to be a student of the game, actually learn the space and be hungry to learn, because if you can acquire these different pieces of insights, these different pieces of knowledge, then you are going to win and succeed, right? Everyone online is just brain rotting these videos, trying to just get a piece of information or an insight that they can just then go and regurgitate to these different coaches and creators. But you just need to have your own ideas, have your own insights to actually just be so hungry to get better every single day. And this will compound massively, right? I've been in the online space for 3 years making money now, and I took so many L's, but through that process, I just kept learning and stacking skills. And now when I speak to creators, and I speak to my clients, they know that they can trust me. And that doesn't mean that I'm right every single time. I've taken a lot of bets, I've taken a lot of gambles, even on different systems that I implement with my client, but that's part of the game, right? So you need to stop worrying about the systems that you build actually working, because a lot of times they're not gonna work, and that's completely fine. And clients don't expect them to work 10 out of 10 times, right? But you need to be capable of being creative, having good ideas, having actual knowledge, seeing what's happening, analyzing the data, and then making decisions where you can actually just then pivot and make a change to whatever you're building. And so if you actually have these capabilities and this knowledge stacked up, then it's gonna be impossible for you to actually fail, right? So with this, you really need to spend your time to actually just gain that knowledge and get better every single day, right? And there's so many ways to do this. And I guess this is a good time to let you know that, I do have a free school community, and I have a several hour long course in there that's completely free that really teaches you everything you need to know about growth operating and how to sign your first client. It's extremely tactical. So I know that this video right here was a little bit more of a mindset video, but I think it was extremely important for you to just overcome that mindset, because that's a lot of the times what gets in the way of us getting results. But we also need that tactical help as well. So you can check that in the first link in the description, where I have an entire course in there. It's for growth operators looking to get their first client and scale their first client. There's a bunch of other people networking in there. It's a really strong community, and so go check it out, and I look forward to seeing you in there. So let's bring back the question, why should a creator actually work with you? And the answer should be simple, right? You have the 3 C's. You have creativity, you have conviction, and you have the capabilities of actually doing so, right? Where you care way more than any other agency does. You actually understand their audience, and you're fully committed and dedicated to actually growing their business. Because these other creators don't want some other service provider. They want an actual partner that understands them and they can actually work alongside of. And if you're able to provide that, they're gonna give you a rev share and you're gonna be able to make a ton of money with them. Because most growth operators fail because they get lazy and they just become these brain dead bots that don't put any effort in. So just focus on these 3 C's and you are destined to win as a growth operator, where you will take losses along the ways, but those will only be lessons to actually make you better. So in a sea of bots, the person who actually cares the most is going to be the one who wins. So I hope you guys like this mindset video. It's something a little bit different that I don't usually do on my channel. If you guys want some more tactical advice, then you can go check out the other videos on this channel. As always, don't forget to subscribe and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.